I can't hear you.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Absorbent and yellow and porous, you see.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Sure. There he is.
What's the next line?
Something,
If nautical
something.
nonsense be something you wish.
Ah,
Drop on the deck and flop like a fish.
you're welcome,
I
everyone.
only know this because Chloe is in the right demographic for SpongeBob,
Oh,
or
we-
was.
We were
Right.
in the right demographic for SpongeBob,
Who
too.
isn't?
Yes,
and that
we
would
were.
be me.
I was
not.
Wasn't.
What did you guys watch?
Kids
Grounded
Next Door.
most of high school.
Thundercats.
No.
Were you cat?
Not
were
that.
You,
Well, not technically.
Thundercats. No.
Well, I did watch it when it came on Toonami.
Okay.
Mm,
What was your question,
You
Corey?
guys watch Cat Dog?
Ooh,
I did
dog.
watch some.
Yo,
Cat dog.
We tried.
Cat Dog.
Cat dog.
There were a lot of shows we tried to watch, and my stepdad decreed that they were stupid. So
You had to watch something smarter.
Well, no, we just
Just-
grounded a lot in middle school too.
Oh,
So I was like,
I'm sensing a pattern here.
yeah, it was like I didn't really.
What about Angry Beavers?
I just didn't like it.
Beavers.
Okay, anyway.
You just
feel like-
name some songs.
I feel
I
like
did
that
watch
theme
SWAT
song.
Cats though.
What?
SWAT Cats?
They were. It was a.
SWAT team.
It was a no SWAT Cats. They were a couple of fighter pilots. So it's a world that's nothing but cats.
What?
It's
This
a,
was a formative time for you.
this this was like there's a world where there's nothing but like anthropomorphic cats, and they have this police force that's like all helicopters. That's like all it is helicopters,
Why?
or these like half plane, half helicopter things. And
Okay,
these
Ospreys.
these two no not like that, but like think
Better.
like it's hard to say. Anyways, these two pilots end up crashing into like the city hall police department building and get fired and forced to work at a junkyard. And they decide that they're going to use the junk to build their own fighter plane and become vigilantes.
Nice.
To fight against what? Just crime?
Crime.
Cat
Yeah.
crime?
Yeah.
Because you can only fight crime with a plane.
Yeah.
Are cat
Or
crimes similar
helicopter.
to human crimes?
I guess.
I'm into it. I'm gonna have to.
I feel like they weren't even cat crimes. They were just like they were legitimate crimes.
Yeah.
Like just
Like
Aiding and abetting.
Is catnip
Laundering.
legalized in that world?
I think so. I think
Okay,
there's
that's
reference
good.
to
That's
it.
good.
catnip makes cats hallucinate.
Oh, Cindy was asking how did we get started talking about cartoons? I think it was because Jimmy started singing the SpongeBob theme
no,
song.
Corey did.
Yeah,
Corey did.
You
Corey
said
did.
something as
Colin
you were
would be
plugging
totally
in.
into this. Colin's like a huge SpongeBob fan.
Oh, I think you
Right.
said, "Are you ready?" What's the first
Yeah.
line?
Maybe I
Are you
did
ready,
start
kids?
it.
Are you ready, kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you said, "Are you ready?" And then I said, "I can't hear you." Okay, it is my
Yeah.
fault. It's my fault.
Oh man!
sorry.
Now if wish. Now this is like. So I've been watching the newsroom a lot,
Yeah.
and it makes me wish we had like a producer over there that'd be like, I'd be
You'd
like,
be on
hey,
line 3.
no, not just that,
They'd
but I
just
could be
be
like,
like,
I could be like, cue up the SWAT Cats theme song.
Yeah. Yep.
And then they'd be like, all right, go to
Oh.
6.
What a great show.
I'll watch it again.
What a great show.
I finished season 1.
Oof. I don't remember the
Great
ending
season.
of season 1.
The ending of season 1 is the
Spoilers if you haven't listened yet.
Well, it's not
Yeah.
the biggest spoiler,
Yeah.
but like the girl that asked him the question at the beginning, she ends up becoming wanting to be an intern
Yes.
there.
I remember this.
Have you seen the intro to the newsroom where he's like,
yeah, it's on
what
Facebook
makes it
every
great?
time.
What
Yeah.
makes great? Well, so that girl ends up
Coming back.
coming to,
Okay.
and she's like, so why do you want to do this? And he's like, well, because she's like, I watch the show, and blah, 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 and I want to be better. And then he's like, so ask me your moronic question again. And so she's just got this like, what
Ugh.
makes America the greatest? He just looks her dead in the face and he goes, you do.
Aww.
And then just walks,
Aw.
and then he goes, hire her, and walks away.
That is good because I did like the speech he gave in the first episode, but I always hated how he made fun of millennials. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I'm glad that he
Well, I don't think he. Well, as I watched it back this time,
calls them the worst generation.
I think he just meant like the place we're at society wise is the way I
Yeah.
took it. Like it's that because he says it's not your fault. You're just born into the worst generation ever. Period.
I haven't watched it in a
Yeah,
long
yeah.
time,
I
so
think
I can't comment.
I took it more as like
yeah.
you got just a bunch of crap dumped on you.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
like when people are like, "Oh man, I hate participation trophies. Like that's the worst." We're like, "Who gave them to us?
Yeah, I know,
We
right?
were 6."
Yeah.
I'll just,
But anyway,
It's
right there?
bothering me that
What's
you're cut
bothering?
off and that she's got room on the edge.
Okay, I asked.
I
Well,
can do this.
It didn't look like it.
Everyone lean to
Well,
the
no, I
left.
just
I asked. I was
I'll
like,
move
hey
it.
man,
I
is
can,
this
I
right?
can get it pretty easy.
And Cindy
Hey,
says cat crimes needs to be in yarn
cat
finder.
crimes. Welcome to cat crimes.
So it need.
No,
No.
this way. There you go.
Perfect.
Yep.
Sure.
Shut up, Phil.
You're the one who was like,
Sure.
No, that was. Do you want the headphones?
That is our friend, Christopher. Gosh,
What?
your hair looks nice.
Anyway, do you guys want to hear my interesting fact for the week?
yes.
I remembered it when we were talking about Disney stuff. Lane Torren, the voice of Hey Arnold, is a sexy man as an adult, and everyone should
Yes.
creep on his Instagram.
Okay.
You're welcome. When you go look at it, you'll appreciate it. You're like, how did
Did-
he have a football head?
Did something make you think of that this week, or did our
The-
cartoon
The
talk?
cartoon talk made
Okay,
me think about it.
Because this is something that you've discovered a long time ago.
Oh, so long ago.
Yes,
I'm just very impressed.
it is very impressive.
He's got so many tattoos for being a
Yes,
voice
very
of-
very long
But
hair.
you're a voice actor. No one cares what you look like.
It's true.
people care what he looks like.
Okay.
I promise.
Corey cares what he
My
looks like.
favorite thing is when the what's her name? The lady that voices Bart Simpson.
Yeah.
Mm.
When she goes around pranking people because
Mhm.
people don't know that it's a woman.
Or who else? Tommy Pickles.
Tara Strong? Is she
Mhm.
Tara Strong or is she the other one?
Oh,
That was
yeah,
a,
I
that
think
was
it
a
is.
female
I think it is
voice
Tara
actress as well,
Strong.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
two ladies who look very
Well,
similar.
she did Timmy from
Fairly Odd
Fairly
Parents.
Odd
Fairly
Parents,
Odd
yeah.
Parents.
Odd Parents. Fairly Odd Parents.
Parents.
I still think that Jimmy should be
little crowny things.
Jorgen von Strangle for Halloween.
Jorgen
at
von-
some
Does
point.
anybody remember the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, Billy and
I don't
Mandy.
think I watched it, but I'm.
Yeah,
I have
didn't watch
I have
it
something
much.
in my brain.
I'm aware that it existed.
Yes.
I watched a lot of Dexter's Lab.
Okay, Dexter's
Oh,
Lab. to watch.
Didi! Get out of my laboratory!
I'm scrubbing the fairies.
Ha 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 ha!
Anyway,
Mandark's the best.
And there's the one where he tries to lock up every exit to the lab and ends up locking himself out of the
Oh,
lab.
no.
Oh, no.
Mistakes. Every time I put on big rubber gloves to clean things, I think that I am his mother. Oh man.
All right. I'm gonna clip your bit into the show, but I probably should.
You
do
don't
the
have to if you don't
intro.
want to.
No, because I think that was interesting.
Cool. Yeah.
All right. I'll start at least with the intro, at least in 5, 4, 3. This episode is brought to you by our patrons. Go to patreon.com/boards and swords to find out more. Welcome to the Dirtbags of Holding, episode number 138. I'm just pausing because I'm
Yeah.
going to edit in the
Ah.
music afterwards. Welcome to the Dirtbags of Holding. This is a podcast where we have fun talking about the best RPGs and how we can play them in the worst way possible. I'm one of your hosts. My name's Chris Renshaw.
And I'm Jimmy.
And I'm Corey.
And I'm Philip.
I was like, which way do I go? I'm in the middle.
You're
I
in the
should
middle,
All the
I
ways.
should have thought about this better. So how's it going, everybody?
Life is so good. It's actually really busy this
It's
week.
very,
is
very busy this week.
Whew,
Very busy,
girl.
Very busy. I feel like that's shared between all of us this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally after we record this, I'm gonna pack up stuff and
Peace
throw
out.
it in the car.
It's just one of those weeks.
I'm gonna go get on an ambulance for some
Speaking
more
of
hours.
which, yeah,
Alright.
ooh,
Not
that's
a
because
yeah.
well, no.
I'm not. I don't
Voluntarily.
plan on getting
Voluntarily.
hurt.
Not the patient.
Yes.
No.
no,
I'm
it
not
just
the patient.
every time you do it, you remind me how much better human beings you are than us.
Not true. Not
true.
one
Not
bit.
true. Not
I
true,
ate
no.
ice cream for
You
breakfast 3 days this week.
Who cares? You're an adult,
I am a grown up, which
That
means
is well. That is.
but you spend your free time volunteering to help sick people.
Hey,
Mm.
I spend my free time keeping my happy ass in the house, so I'm not on the ambulance.
I trust you to drive an
Keeping
ambulance. You're a pretty good driver.
Keeping it available for someone who needs it.
Touche. You're not
That's
going to get hurt. You don't move. If you sit on
Exactly.
your couch,
That's right.
no.
You're-
Not
then
true. I'm sure there are plenty of accidents that can happen inside your house.
Yeah. Also, if you just sit on a
Well, if you
couch
sit
for
too long,
50
you get blood
years,
clots.
eventually you're not going to have lungs that work.
Yeah.
sitting is the new smoking. Don't you know
Well, hey,
this?
I
Oh,
go to
no.
work and do manual
But for
labor.
now,
so
yes, you
that's-
are doing a great service to your community.
I agree.
Exactly.
Also,
staying
I think
inside.
you're both great people and that you do great things.
All right. Someone thinks we're great people.
Hear that, Mom?
Mom, I'm really a good human.
This is one of those times where like I do a screenshot and like underneath it's like charisma score or deception 100.
Yes. Deception
Yep.
100.
Yep.
So, anyways, a couple weeks ago, well, actually before that, a quick news bit. I want to let everybody know that we are in the middle of airing our Ravnica episodes.
Yes.
And I just want to let everyone know that once we finish up that story, that the session that we recorded, there's going to be a little bit of a break, maybe about a month or so
Summer vacation.
of no episodes as we get through. I've got some travel and some vacation. Give these people time to like, just chill.
Then we got to go Gen Con.
Yeah, there's that too.
Gen Con,
We got some stuff in the queue, but I want to space it out basically until we get another chance to sit down and record. So just a little FYI there.
We'll
I think
miss
there's
you.
probably one or two more episodes of that.
And if you want to see us around, you can check out Chris on Twitter.
Yeah,
Chris
there's
the
that.
Prof.
Chris Ruff. Oh, you are on Instagram too. Yeah, I like all your Instagram things. Anyway,
Thank you, Corey.
you're welcome. But you're more active on Twitter.
Very true.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't
am
tweet.
not on Instagram. I just individually type in the URLs of Instagrams I like
He does.
to look at them.
Same for Tumblrs.
You could
He then
you could save yourself some time and have like a
Oh, I know.
spreadsheet or a document or something, and you could just copy and paste.
or you could sign up for the service and
Very-
it would
very
automatically
fast at typing.
propagate.
He
I'm
can't-
very
typing.
fast at typing Instagram.com/.
He also can't watch stories on Instagram because he doesn't have an account.
Yeah, that's right. You need
Oh.
an account, but I just refuse to get one. Maybe that'll change.
Not for
one
any good
day.
reason. I think it's just because your phone has
What
low
kind of
I would just-
millennial are you?
I don't
Right?
know. I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't use it that much, and then I would feel weird, like
So
friending people so that I could watch them,
I-
but not
I-
post
that's-
you
anything.
just
myself.
described all of social
You just
media.
described me. What are you talking about? When was my?
All right, we're gonna stop the show and have
And we're gonna
a,
sign Jimmy up for a
for
We're
freaking
gonna,
Instagram.
we're gonna have
That's
an
what we're doing.
intervention here for
Yeah.
Jimmy to have an Instagram account.
It makes me feel.
September 28th was my last
unwanted.
Instagram post.
I thought you were gonna be like September 28th, 2001.
Before that,
Jeez.
September
yeah.
September
last-
28th, 2018 was
Uh-huh.
my last Instagram post. Before that was this post of
Yeah.
us sitting in line
Nice.
August 17th, 2017
That
to get our
was-
press passes.
I think that was my second.
That was the
year.
first,
Or
I
was it my
think.
first?
I think it's the first year of Gen.
No, that was his second.
second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is this our fourth Gen Con? Have you guys been to 5?
Well, this is
He's been to
y'all's
5.
fourth.
Yeah, I was gonna
My
say. I was
fifth.
gonna ask if you've been to 5, then I've been to 4.
I've been to 5. He missed last year, so
Oh yeah.
All right,
so now
someone
you're on level
decided
playing
on
field.
number 4.
Someone decided to get married and consider it jackass.
I think it's like a episode. Like we need a bingo card. That's like Philip
Things we
mentioned.
talk about. Yeah.
Like Mike talks about how he likes to watch because he always gets mentioned. And see,
He
there I
does.
do. I just
There-
mentioned.
yeah, there we
Yeah,
go.
Mike.
All
I
right,
mean,
Mike.
is a very integral part of our game. Michael.
Michael.
Hey, Mike. Guess what day it is? Oh, I'm sorry.
He
You hate
loves
us.
all those things we just did.
No, he does not. Okay.
Yeah. So speaking of which, before I get into like the tiny bit of news bits I have, you guys are starting a new campaign.
Yes.
That's
Genesis.
and
Yes.
Android Shadow of the Beanstalk.
Mhm.
Yes.
You had
Mhm.
your first session
Session
0.
zero.
How did that go?
Went
Great.
pretty well. It was a very good planning thing.
So what
Yeah.
kind of characters are you?
Medicine. I'm the medical guy. Yeah.
What?
I'm
What?
trying here.
What?
Like, what kind of characters are you? Medicine.
No,
Well,
no.
I mean,
I am going to be the medical person, and Mike amazingly was like, okay, we have one NPC that you guys have to make connections with. What are those connections? And I threw like 10 out, and at least 6 of them were vetoed. It was like, we're in love with the same person. Vetoed. We go to the same church. That really anyway, a bunch of stuff got thrown out, but we decided I look exactly like the captain,
Yeah.
except 10 years younger.
Yeah.
Which is bad because another player is playing as the captain's separated husband, wife.
Yes.
Now, see, I want it to be that the captain
Significant
is
other.
actually you 10 years from now that has time traveled back.
Yep.
My God.
Maybe it might happen. My God.
Which is worrying because the captain has a bionic leg.
Yeah, and
So,
I
like,
don't
what
have
happened to your-
bionic leg.
What happened to your leg?
Not
So
yet.
what had to happen.
Uh-huh.
Also, Jimmy and my character,
Dun,
our
dun,
relationship is that he chews really loud, and we have a shared office space, and I just can't handle it.
Do you
Yes.
just try and put ASMR into like every game you play?
Do I?
Yeah.
Is this a thing I've done
this was
before?
this
Oh
was
no.
It just gets referenced a lot.
This
I
was spawned off
hate
of-
mouth sounds, so that's probably why
And apparently, I chew bananas loudly.
he does.
How do you
So,
chew a banana?
I
He
though?
chews
don't
nothing
know.
else
I have
loudly.
no
I chew
idea.
with my mouth closed. I don't feel like I'm chewing overly hard or anything, but
It's not
Just
your
as long
fault.
as your character realizes it's always banana to mouth, never mouth to banana.
Never mouth a banana.
never.
Strangely, that was at the end of the episode I just put out.
Oh,
Nice.
was?
Yeah, that
Another
got
bingo card moment.
that got referenced in the episode I just released earlier this week.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm playing the hacker character, much like I played in Star Wars. My name is I'm a loony. That means I'm from the moon, Luna.
So he's taller
Um,
because he grew up with no gravity.
Taller and skinnier because of low gravity, much like Belters in The Expanse. My name is Kamar Jamil. I'm a descendant of Jamila Jamil. Jamila Jamil. You'll know her name if you surf the
Body.
if you watch The Good Place, A, and B if you are into body positive
Anything.
hashtags on Instagram, because she's into shaming.
Oh, she shames people who
Instagram
do
models
detox
for-
teas.
yeah.
Like anyone who sports a detox tea, she goes in.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's mean.
Yeah.
She's like, those make you poop your pants.
And also, you don't use those.
You don't use them. You
They
have a
shred the
trainer.
red.
Shred the red.
Letter Kenny.
Oh no.
Check this out. Breakfast, shreddies. Lunch, shreddy the readies.
Oh,
Dinner,
mini wheats.
spaghettis. We're talking about protein supplements.
Why does it make
God.
it red?
It's
Because
just red colored.
It's a red colored protein
Oh,
drink.
okay. I was just thinking of poop and red, and I was
Well,
like, that
there
is bad.
is there
Well,
is-
I mean, it might.
well, the
all
other
you're
thing
drinking is red liquid
Mm.
Yeah.
and spaghetti sauce.
I-
It just
anyways.
yeah. Anyway,
So
I'll tell
Gen
you what I
Con-
want. What,
what-
really. Never mind.
I was gonna say Gen Con events happen.
yeah, they did.
None of us got into anything we wanted.
Well, that's partially true.
Got into everything I want. I didn't sign up for anything.
We got
Jimmy
into,
and I last year got into everything we wanted.
Yes.
So I was like, if I get nothing I want this year, then
fair.
that's fair.
I got into, well, other than the free stuff like the FFG in-flight. Did you
Mhm.
get into that?
I didn't submit yet.
Oh, okay. But
It's been like
I
what,
got
2 weeks.
I got into one game I wanted to play, and that
Which-
was the DC Adventures
yeah.
game. That's and then you guys or Mike, somebody got me tickets to Bluebeard's Bride.
that was us. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. So yeah, we're all playing Bluebeard's Bride. You're just not playing in the same game as us.
Me and Heather, I
Unless
think,
we
are-
can.
Unless someone switchy poos a table.
Right.
Yeah, switchy poos. Yeah. We got to ask for some switchy poos. Let's see, what else did we get?
We didn't get into Honey Heist, and it was with the
That's
creator
upsetting.
of Honey Heist
Right.
was
Yeah.
running it, so that was
But that's
disappointing.
probably why we didn't
That's
get
probably
into
why we
it.
didn't get into
yeah,
it.
I need to get some generics.
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling there's like it sucks because there's so many games I wanted to play and they just filled up
Yeah.
so fast. But I may just keep some generics on me and just wait and see if they open up.
Yeah.
How does the Kickstarter / Board Game Geek room work?
You just go in.
You just go in.
you just
think
go in,
it's-
give them a ticket.
I've
It's
never
a
even
generic
seen it. Like I've
per
never.
hour.
It's like 2 hours.
Okay.
2 hours.
Because we always just went to the Rio Grande
Yeah. Where it's free and they have goldfish.
Snackos, but
And
I want to go
sometimes
to the
sody
board.
pops. Though
Sody pops.
at any given point there might be like 3 sody pops floating in the ice bucket.
Like the press
but
room.
there's never
Yep.
more than 3.
What are you excited to go to?
Excited to go to. I'm excited to try out the DC game because
Mhm.
I'm a big DC fan, and I've heard it's based on the Mutants and Masterminds system, which I've heard a lot about. I started reading the book, and it looks like basically it's a modified version of like D&D and like
Yeah.
third edition D&D.
We played
Like
it
it's
once.
very similar. The cool part is that you don't have to make your own characters.
Mhm.
They actually have the stats and abilities for like all the DC heroes, so you could legit play as Batman
That's nice.
or Superman. Like you don't have to like a lot of games will be like, "Oh, these people exist and you're playing as Mr. Confusion Man or
Yeah.
something that's like
I-
legally distinct but completely
yeah. I played someone who had bullet shrimp powers. Which is
Is that the mask game?
Oh, that was great.
That was we played Mutants and Masterminds with some friends at a beach house.
Okay.
Yeah.
And evidently there's this shrimp that can like close its claws really fast, and it makes like a shockwave of sound underwater,
I
and
think it's like super heated too
yeah,
because of the friction.
and it kills things, then it eats them.
So is it a lot like D&D and you guys probably haven't
I
played
wouldn't
third
say
edition,
it's
have
a
you?
lot like
I haven't played
D&D.
third
Okay.
edition, no.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
no. I wouldn't
It
say
was-
it's a
I-
lot like D&D.
I remember thinking like this is kind of complicated and had to read a lot
Sounds
of
like
rules.
third edition.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think it does a good job of simulating like superhero combat.
That's
in,
what I've
Yeah.
heard.
in that, superheroes never really, they don't necessarily have hit points per se, because
Yeah.
they can always just have that scene of like, oh, I'm down and beaten, but like, oh, if I just like concentrate and clench my fists,
Yeah.
then I get a whole new surge of power. So you don't have hit points, you just keep getting these I think like
Power
essentially
surges.
wound cards or something, and those they sort of
You get like
weaken-
story effects almost as you get weaker.
yeah, and they weaken your ability to maybe do more things in a turn, but like you have to acquire
Quite
like
a few.
whole deck of
Mm.
wound cards in order to like get knocked out.
I've also heard it simulates just the broad range of powers you could get. Like I've heard it simulates superheroes very well. You can. It's not as much a narrative game, but yet it still has enough crunch in it but it simulates like if there's a specific power set you want, it's got rules for
Yeah.
Yeah.
it. So
It's exhaustive in powers.
yeah.
So have fun with that one.
What about you guys, Philip? What are you looking forward to at Gen Con?
Going to Gen Con.
Yeah. Okay. Nothing special.
You just
Not
like
really.
the
Were
the
you
whole
were you getting
spectacle.
the
I did. I just went
FF
and got my in-flight ticket right there.
Nice.
And my Of Dice and Men ticket.
Yeah.
Of
course.
Per yours.
I'm hoping that they announce a Arkham Horror source book for Genesis
That
Okay.
would rock.
at
There you
the in-flight.
I'd play that game.
I've been predicting it for like
Do you,
I think
is,
at 2015, 2016 is when I said I predict within 5 years that they do it.
Is there any indication that they're gonna do it?
Well, it's
Well,
more
I guess
of
Arkham Horror is another
it's
FFG
a,
property.
it's
right?
another FFG property, and they're running out low on the list of FFG properties that they haven't made Genesis books
Gotcha.
out or
Got it.
Aren't we-
specific.
Aren't we running low on the list of things that aren't owned by Asmodee and Fantasy Flight?
Yeah. But it's a
Monopolies aren't a problem.
but Monopoly is owned by Hasbro,
Yeah.
and that's never getting away.
Nope.
Who owns Everdell?
That
Starling Games.
yes,
I like them.
which is games.
Yep.
Anyways, what about you two?
Well,
Burlesque show. Gonna
Yeah.
be great.
yeah, burlesque show.
Any
always-
RPGs you did get into that you're excited
Well,
about?
we only got into Bluebeard's Bride.
Mm.
Because we were gonna do Honey Heist, but no dice, and we were gonna do. Oh no, we got into the Star Wars game.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
we've played Star Wars, so
Well, I'm excited to play a game we know how to play because I
Yeah.
feel like we'd spend a lot of time learning. So
and
it'll
it's
be
on
fun.
a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
So we can just wind down playing something we already know.
Yeah, there's a
Um,
couple of games that I've like recently, or like there's a list of stuff where it's like I'm interested in this. Let me see if I can like things from the Flood / Tales from
Nice.
the Loop.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's-
we're gonna play Raccoon Tycoon.
That's right.
I know nothing about it, but the art looks great.
Yep. And that worked out for us in Everdell. So yeah, we just got to find games with cute animals on the front.
Speaking of things from the Flood, this is actually a news story, and this is bad. I'm gonna just warn you. So a week or two ago, it's the UK Games Expo.
Okay.
And it was announced, or not announced, but it was somebody went to Twitter and said that they had got into a Things from the Flood game where the GM like took it in a very bad direction. Like right out of the gate, they were. I don't want to really say because I don't want to like.
Misrepresent anything?
No, it's not so much that as it's a big content warning.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's just say for a game where you play children / teens,
Okay.
it was very graphic.
Gotcha.
And so this ended up like going through the internet, and luckily it has a good ending in the sense that the people behind the UK Games Expo found out and threw him out of the show.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
gosh.
guessing this GM was not from the company.
They are investigating into it, but it looks like not yet, at least.
Okay.
The company's made aware. The company that's behind it, which is Free League Publishing,
Okay.
which I've done some reviews for them before, but they said they're looking into it and figuring out kind of making sure that, because sometimes with these companies they like hire somebody else to hire their.
Yeah.
So I think it's just they want to make sure that it's not a
Direct hire.
or it's just somebody that said, "Hey, I want to run this game."
Right.
So
Eek.
yeah, they put out UK Games Expo put out a press release saying everything, but yeah, it was a news bit that I thought might need to bring up, but it's just it's one of those things that says no game is worth being uncomfortable for.
You can leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's
I
no
know-
X card and you're not comfortable, peace.
Right. Like, I know you may feel like I paid for this game. I'm sure you can probably get money back or something, or if you feel awkward and don't want to cause a scene, it's not worth ruining your experience at a convention
Yeah.
just to make somebody else happy.
It's the sunken cost fallacy where you're like, oh, I already put money into
Yeah.
it. You're not going to get your time back. So if you waste your time and your money,
You're just gonna feel doubly worse.
doubly worse.
Yeah. And I'm also not trying to blame victims or anything, saying that, oh, you shouldn't have stayed. I'm just
yeah.
saying, in general,
You can leave.
you can leave.
Yep. No.
Unless you're playing Twister, then you kind of get uncomfortable just because you're trying to like.
Sometimes you literally can't leave Twister.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're twisted. You too twisted up.
I'm too old for Twister.
Is the UK Games Expo, what is that, like the equivalent of like Gen Con or?
For what I've heard, size-wise, it's closer to Origins. It's not as big as Gen Con,
Okay.
but I think it's in like the 10,000 people,
Okay.
10 to 15,000 people range. But it is one of the biggest conventions in Europe.
Right.
Like Essenspiel is the biggest, and then I think UK Games Expo is the next biggest. I think.
Gotcha.
This is me as an American.
Not knowing.
Not knowing. So somebody feel free to nicely correct me.
Well, first of all, one of the biggest conventions in Europe is Oktoberfest in Munich.
I'm talking
Put that out
gaming
there.
related.
Okay, there's drinking
Okay.
games.
I'm talking tabletop gaming related that doesn't involve liquor.
It's on it.
I
Have you
added the
been to our like D&D nights.
Have you been to an Oktoberfest?
I think we went to like a local one when we were stationed over there.
Okay. I've never been to one.
I've never been.
I
to one.
don't think I will.
I don't like to drink things unless it's champagne. So why?
Look at little Miss.
Did I ever tell you about the time I went to the Czech Republic and we met a dude named Vladimir that works for the company, and he's sitting in this tiny
Wasn't
bar.
this like a few months ago?
Yeah.
Yes.
And he has a ring on that's literally a skull, and he's making orders to the bar by just pointing at people. And
Yep.
I was like, what is this man? And he goes, Corey, what do you like to drink? And I said, I really like mimosas. And he goes, I will kill you. Oh my God.
You're
Oh,
like, oh man, he actually might.
I had like 9 shots. I don't drink.
Yeah.
I had like 9 shots in probably 2.5, 3 hours
That's
because
very
I didn't
impressive.
feel comfortable not drinking. But it was fine. I was okay. No one
Speaking
died.
of
You were-
instances where you were not
You're allowed
comfortable,
to
right?
leave.
you were with
I was
family
with people. It
and
was fine.
friends.
I had a DD. We were good. But I was just like, yeah, I'm not going to be killed by Vladimir here.
Yeah.
Vladimir was nice, though. He has a good time.
Suddenly, I'm just reminded that there's a comedian I see on Facebook. It's like the guy that's like the machine.
Yes. Yeah. Oh. Why? Any other point in my life, I would just spit his name out for no
Yeah.
reason.
He's a machine?
Well,
He-
Like a robot?
Like, there's the point of the story is he comes up, he gives himself the nickname the Machine,
Okay.
and like he's over in
He-
Russian,
his-
and
Yeah.
it like goes side. I mean, his
He's-
adventures go sideways.
Like he's taken a college course,
Yeah.
and they literally had to hire the mob to protect these college students.
Oh, no.
And he practiced. He practiced in the mirror what he was going to say in Russian. He's like, "Yeah, my name is Bill. We're going to call him Bill. I know that's wrong, but
I
yeah.
think it's like Bert.
if someone Bert Kirshner. There
Yeah,
we
there
go.
you go.
Bert Kirshner. He's like, "Hi, my name." I think he was like, "Hi, my name is Bert." And, and he went to have a drink with the guys, and they open the door, and it's just like the typical track suit and all
Yeah.
this. And he's like,
Nice.
"I am the machine."
Bert. For some reason, when you said the machine, it reminded me of the guy who does like the the super broy workout parodies.
Oh yes,
Where-
I
when he-
love
Dumb,
those.
dumb as Eddie.
He got his backpack and he takes dumbbells out and he goes, "I brought snacks." Oh, it's so good.
All right, I think we
Oh.
could break into our
Our
topic.
actual topic.
What, board games?
I brought
Oh,
snacks.
Top
RPGs,
gaming and
that's right.
RPGs.
Yeah, so
We're
speaking,
not boards and swords.
speaking of breaking things, I called this breaking stereotypes
Okay.
Nice.
that we see, you know, in characters and NPCs. You have like the common stereotype, for instance, like there's the bartender at your local tavern for the thing. There's the weird old man that gives you the quest to go
Yeah.
out and get the thing. And it was just a thought experiment of how can we take these generic stereotypes and spin them to make them unique, interesting, and memorable characters.
I
Well,
have
Cruven.
I have the answer.
Cruven.
It's funny accents.
Yeah.
Always
And that's
funny.
it.
But not
nothing else.
inappropriate.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
If-
I wonder if you don't mean archetypes. as
Probably.
Opposed to anyway, it doesn't really matter.
It's a mixture, archetypes and
People
stereotypes.
Yeah.
know what we're talking about because they're not language prescriptivists.
They're not. If you
Um,
understand what we're saying, then we're fine.
That's right.
Tropes might be a better word.
Okay.
Oh,
there we
that's
go.
good.
Okay. All right. We're on
Yeah.
the same page. All right. So yeah, let's start with. What's the
start with
first
the
one you mentioned?
bartender?
The bartender. All right. So what's
So you have, you know, it's
typical?
you got to think your fantasy bar with your bartender. How can we spin this into making it a more memorable character?
Ooh. Okay. Well, I think when I try to make an NPC, I try to think of what that NPC is trying to elicit. Like, what feeling am I trying to get to the PCs? So, like, do I want the PCs to protect this person because they're like someone who needs to be protected from the mob? Because that's going to be different than if I want them to hate this bartender or if I want them to like just generally be cool with a random guy. Because if I want them to be like caring towards this dude, I'm probably gonna either make him like really sweet and kind and scared, or like very funny and chummy. And if I want them to hate them, I'm gonna make him abuse children, because for some reason in our group, if you abuse children, everyone wants to get you.
Well,
Well, I mean,
Well,
that's,
yeah,
that's not
it
just
works.
our group. Like,
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Suddenly
that,
I have-
that makes sense.
I like my first thought is some sort of animal companion, like maybe like a tiny monkey that's always
Yeah.
on his shoulder and does different things. Like when somebody holds out like a coin, the monkey goes and grabs it, kind of thing.
Gotcha.
You can come
Yeah.
up with some sort of name for the monkey.
Well, building off of what Corey said about thinking about what feeling you want to elicit in the players, I feel like the bartender is usually just a helpful like resource of sorts.
Someone who knows what's
So,
going on in the area.
Like the PCs always just kind of maybe treat the bartender as just an information source. Like will always be helpful in general as long as you're being a good paying customer.
Mhm.
What if you could make the bartender just generally antagonistic? I don't know.
Or have the bartender lie to them.
Yeah,
See what
or
happens.
lie to them.
But you're saying like what is just a feature to make them memorable, period.
Just to stand out, so it's not like ways you can just flavor them to make them better, so that it's not just generic NPC number 5 in the bar.
Right.
They have a twin, and you never know which one's there, which one's working, and they're
That's right.
two very
And
different people.
One of them's a dick.
And one of them is
One of
so
them-
nice.
So nice.
One of them secretly gives you a discount, but you don't know which one's working that day.
The other guy is like all the time throwing glasses at people.
Yeah.
It's like, get the fuck out!
Yep. You didn't tip me 20%?
Yeah, and I think what our group finds the most memorable is the characters that they hate. so yeah, you make the twin who's antagonistic just like really like lay into the characters, and make fun of them like Volo.
I was gonna
did.
say our current session is Volo.
Yeah.
Oh, Volo.
And yeah, so I think that would be an interesting way, is to maybe not make them as helpful as they usually are.
Okay. So we got here, what, Philip, you want to add a detail into this? How else? So we got like the twin kind of good and evil bartender thing here. What's an extra twist on there?
Oh, and also the bartender has a monkey. Mm-hmm.
I got nothing.
bartender has
You got
no
nothing?
tongue.
I
All
got
right,
nothing.
so
Yeah.
we'll move on. How
Bartender has no tongue. Sorry.
how about your generic shopkeeper? Like, I know this is along the same line
Yeah.
of thinking.
Yeah,
About
it's
the same.
Okay.
Uh,
So
Yeah.
how
Or
about
maybe a shopkeeper that's terrible at haggling. I don't-
Mm.
it's
Oh no.
Or we could go I'm just filling out kind of like a village here, the law enforcement person, where it's a sheriff
Ooh.
or it's a. How do you make that person interesting?
Definitely.
I would maybe make them a person who is either disillusioned with their job or like is only doing it because no one else will or something. Make them someone who doesn't necessarily exude authority.
I'm suddenly feeling like in a western, there's always that like the sheriff that's in the chair that's just got like the pin on badge.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
he's like, I'm only here because
they
I was the
elected
last.
me and no one else
Yeah.
was here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or make the PCs feel like to make them really feel like they want to help this person. Like I said, make it someone who is only doing this job because they have to, and they're sort of like scared of the responsibility. And the PCs are like, "Oh man, I feel real sorry for you. You have to protect this town because you're the only person left." And they'll be like, "Okay, I want to. Please give us a quest to like to help you."
or make the I don't know, make the character race, like put like the entire city of Waterdeep, which is roughly like medium size human and elf and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, and like no, the halfling is the
Oh,
captain of the
yeah,
guard.
yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
he
The
worked so
halfling
hard
has
to
to
get
keep-
here.
So like their personality has to be real big
Yeah.
Yeah.
to fill
Ooh,
that role.
here's an idea. What about the guy or person has no weapons of any kind on him, but everybody is very terrified of them?
Mm.
They're a monk.
Like, no, like he doesn't look like he's like a martial arts person. He just doesn't. He doesn't have any sort of weapon, but yet everyone is very uneasy around that person.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then no one will explain why.
Ooh, I like that.
Maybe he's like the only magic user around or something.
Or just he did something that
Yeah.
you know, but
He's
but don't spell it out. Just leave it as like as a backstory thing where everyone just like nobody brings, or when someone brings it up, they're we don't talk about
Yeah.
that.
Like
Don't talk about what? Shut up.
no
Yeah.
arrests. No arrests have been made in the town for like the last however many years.
Yeah, like whenever there's
And
a
yet-
dispute, when he walks in or he or she walks in, everyone just sits back down in their chairs and like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And yet like all the criminals are either gone or they're like I don't know,
Reformed.
somehow reformed. or
Yeah.
pacified or something. Yeah. And
I
mean,
would,
making him into a horror character.
Oh god. I think that the sheriff should know everyone's moms.
He's just Zach Brannigan.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh,
you went there with it.
different way to know a mom.
Sorry, I went sexual with it.
He's just like,
Oh,
yeah,
it's
you better be
sexual.
good or I'm going to sleep with your mom. Ugh, sorry, children.
You better watch out or I'll become your stepdad.
Yeah. You have to see me every Christmas.
Okay, how about the king of an area?
Make them good
Ooh.
instead of evil.
Yeah.
There you go. That's flipping it. I don't know. What do you think?
How to make a king different.
You can make it a kid.
Oh no, and he just has a bunch of advisors.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, Game of Thrones.
Right.
But like good advisors.
Yeah.
He's got a bunch of Uncle Tyrions that aren't afraid to like smack him upside.
King needs a nap.
Ooh, how about like kind of this is going off of your suggestion about the sheriff thing,
Mhm.
but like say it's a land of dwarves and the only human is the king.
And then you're
Power
like,
issues.
Yeah, and then you're like, why is he the king? Is
Yeah,
it
but he's
because-
loved. Like the people love him. It's not like I'm not talking
Yeah.
he came in
Right.
and ruled. It's like everybody just loves that guy.
It
Because he
could-
do so good.
It could be a adventurer from another party far off who
Right.
used a wish spell to become king of the dwarves.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I
Still
forgot that
mad.
happened.
It's 20 years, not 20 years later, 15 years later.
Yep.
Getting
Do
old.
you want to explain?
my twin brother, after 4 years of a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, we got a wish, and everyone wished.
Well, you got 3 wishes, right?
Got 3 wishes, but the GM said, "Okay, everyone, stop talking." And my brother goes, "Why? What are we doing?" And he goes, "Okay, you only get 2 wishes." And he goes, "Wait, we get wishes?" And then he goes, "Okay, you only get 1 wish. Everyone, shut up." Ooh. And then everyone write down your wishes. We're gonna put them in a hat, and then we'll pick one. I wished for a bunch of mithril pieces in a bag of holding.
Yep.
Someone else wished for a bunch of gold pieces in a bag of holding.
Yep.
Someone else wished for armor. My brother wished to be king of the dwarves. Guess whose wish got pulled out and his character left. He had to roll a new character, and we never saw him again. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I would always say when we rolled to get from town to the dungeon, like, "Oh, is it a hobbit? It's a hobbit, and he's going to give us a wish." And then it finally happened, and my brother ruined it for everyone.
Didn't that happen in our like I laughed because I thought this was going someplace else. I could have sworn that this ended up being a thing in our first D&D game. We played
D&D.
the Rise of Tiamat, where we were in Waterdeep solving something, and the one guy wanted a wish from a genie.
Yeah.
And didn't you say he wished to be king of the dwarves
Yeah, that's
or
probably
something?
why I put that in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like the waiter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wished he gave us some information, and he asked the genie to be king of the dwarves, and he just vanishes.
Yep.
Yep.
That was where that was inspired from. Everyone get you a twin brother. That'll make funny moments happen. Yeah, maybe he's a human king of the dwarves.
Okay, so
He eats people. Everyone thinks he eats people, but no
Ooh.
one's sure about it.
Yep. That's pretty.
Or his
crazy.
his enemies end up in people's soup.
Dang.
That's a
Wyman
game. That's a
Manderley.
Game of Thrones
He's actually an
reference.
illusion.
oh,
But it would have to be major illusions to spell in D&D, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because there's
Major
minor
image.
illusion. Oh, major image?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, what's another? Somebody else got a stereotype.
Sexy lady, like seductive lady. I feel like we
like-
get that one a lot.
Like
An assassin or a.
okay, I
Like
need
someone-
a perspective.
Gotcha.
I guess like a woman who uses her looks to get ahead. Like that's a common trope.
Yeah, it's a common trope we pull out in our games.
Yeah.
So what would make her more fully fleshed?
I'm sorry, poor word
You're
choice.
welcome.
No, she chose her words
Yeah.
very carefully.
Let's
Wink
see
at the
here.
camera.
Let's see here. Well, I guess you could do the obvious flip where it's a dude instead of a woman. But that's easy.
Because there's nothing wrong with having someone using their looks as a
Yeah,
Right.
it's the
as
problem.
a thing.
The problem is
Right.
I can't break the trope. I'm just thinking of like, for instance, it's the old witch that drains youth from, it's like she looks like she's 20, but she's actually 200.
200. Well, you could make the
Uh,
reason that she does it be something important to the party, like she is actually a noble person that does terrible things like stabbing people's youth so that she can like run an orphanage,
Hmm.
Yeah.
and because she's so good at it.
Yep.
Or
Nobody else would do it right.
no one else would do it right. You could. Oh man, this is a hard trope.
Yeah,
to
this
break.
was
Why'd
a
I
hard.
throw this one out
This
there?
is a hard trope to break.
Yeah, I guess it's just that you give them an
Other-
interesting
other
backstory.
interesting
that's
backstories,
Not
yeah.
just about her body.
Yeah.
Yeah, so character development, I guess.
Ooh, she got a wish spell, and it made herself invulnerable. So that's why she shows off so much skin. Is because nobody can mess with her.
That true. Or if it's someone who shows off a lot of skin,
Like she's. I'm saying
it's
like she's.
reflected in the armor class.
She's an adventurer.
Yeah, that's cool. That's super cool. Not being able to stab people, that'd be nice in some
Like,
war
yeah,
games.
she got the what's his name? The Achilles treatment.
Or
They
remembered the heel.
Yep.
She's affected by that It Follows monster.
Oh, God.
And that's why. That's why she's constantly trying to seduce.
Or she's not actually there.
She's a figment of your imagination.
Yep.
A mirage.
Yep.
A person mirage.
Interesting.
I'm thinking like the Matrix on that one.
Oh, yeah. The lady in red.
The lady in
Or
red.
you could just make her really annoying. So like she's
Yeah.
very attractive and tries to seduce people, but her personality's so bad that it doesn't work.
Or she's just socially awkward. Like she tries to seduce people, but it just never works.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right, another trope. How about the paladin? Like the heroic paladin adventure. This was more of a character trope. The lawful good paladin.
So when we tend to think of a lawful good paladin, we're thinking of someone with like strict morals that only does
Yeah.
what their church tells them to.
Right.
Right.
I shall go on a smite the evildoer. I am on a crusade.
So how would we make them more interesting?
He's paying a penance because of something he did growing up.
Oh.
And he feels like he has to keep this moral code to kind of wash away his sins.
Tragic backstory.
Yeah.
They
He's-
could have their own, like they're not a paladin because they're serving some god. They're just serving themselves in their own set of moral convictions. And I don't know, their power somehow comes from their conviction rather than a divine being.
They're
I don't know.
annoyingly superior about it.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
like, I'm a paladin. I'm lawful good. I'm great.
God,
You can
insufferable.
combine tropes, and it's the woman that tries to seduce people is the paladin.
Yes. That would be great.
Insufferable.
The paladin is always trying to get higher up in their church, so they keep stealing everyone's stuff to give away to the church. They're like, oh man, I gotta donate more stuff.
Can you have a lawful evil paladin?
Probably.
Yes, you can have evil gods.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, the guy that robs from the rich gives to the poor, but now the poor are rich. And so he has the moral quandary of what does he do now?
Oh my gosh.
He's created the very monsters he's sworn to destroy.
right.
Exactly.
He
Oh,
wears a cool
my
hat.
God. My
Right?
God.
That's a way to remember someone.
Yep. Cool hat. Cool bow.
So this is,
Cool
by the way,
shoes.
this was like an idea for a player character. So.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking,
I don't-
like, what are some of the characters we've played or have played with that have stuck out the most to us, and why? Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm
well,
thinking like Althorn not
Mhm.
talking
Yeah.
for an entire like 6 months of a game. Was-
First of all, that was great. Everyone remembers that.
Yeah, it was very fun and interesting.
Yeah.
Making you hate squirrels was another
That was
stupid fun thing.
yeah. That's a lot of just like building. I mean, God, we can talk about like how to make Nat ones work.
We should do that sometime because that's hard. What characters have you remembered the most?
I mean, I got to go number one is Scratch.
Just finding cookies everywhere and
And the idea that
Stash,
like
yeah.
he's the knowledgeable person of the ship, but he's also an idiot.
Right.
and changes accents every
Yeah.
few
Yeah.
hours. That was great.
For
Apparently,
me, it's
Drainus was a
the-
good character.
Yeah.
No. That was a stereotype wrapped in a stereotype wrapped in a poor. No.
I think for me, it's the socially awkward hacker character, which I guess I'm getting ready to play again. But I feel like that's definitely a trope because, the computer nerd being socially awkward.
Right.
Now, I'm not the computer nerd part because I'm not great at computers, but the socially awkward part, I feel is a great role to play for me because then I can just,
Be
not
awkward.
be good at talking.
You should make the socially awkward part more like you accidentally stumble into situations and seem to be good, but you don't know
Know
why.
what you're doing.
Like you don't know what you're doing. Like women come up to you and are attracted to you and like watch come over to you, but
You'd
you
be like, why is this happening?
yeah, like you just accidentally say the right things.
Right.
Ah.
Okay. I like
That's
that.
funny.
I like that.
Just stumble into moments.
Yeah,
That'd be hard to roleplay because you'd have to
Yeah.
be suave, but also be like make
be
it
funny.
seem like it was an accident.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. that's
Um,
fun.
I'm into that.
I like that.
I have to say, I don't know the individual, but as far as like the troop, that when we did the Dungeons and Drafts for the first D&D game we
Yeah.
ran,
Yep.
where it was you were on the search for cardamom, that was one of those. It was a twist on a. It's not a group of adventurers.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of people
Yeah.
looking for weird herbs and spices.
Yep, and it just so happens to coincide.
Like that, we still joke about cardamom to this day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was what, like
That's a fun
4
word.
years ago.
That was like 4 years ago.
Cardamom.
It is a fun word.
Cardamom.
I never cook with cardamom.
Like anytime,
And then it
there's-
was always
anytime we're in a kitchen, we end up is there cardamom?
and also the Sprite.
Sprite.
Oh,
Sprite.
right.
He was like, "Oh yeah, we get our money." I hand
Yep.
you the Sprite. Sprite vanishes.
He's our treasurer.
Oh boy.
We held a vote.
That would be a fun thing to give to a character or an NPC. Make them like a municipal treasurer or like a vice. I'm the vice president of
Oh
the
yeah.
commissioners
I'm the
guild.
assistant to the regional manager.
Yep. People think they have power.
Yep.
Um, I feel like the things that I remember most are always weird accents,
Mm-hmm.
or character interactions that are weird. So like you and Mike playing exes, or
Yes.
you and Mike, you were both Shadra fan, right?
We were both Shadra fan. Yes.
When you would just
we were
be,
cousins.
be tiny and skitter around and
Yep.
just like destroy ships together. You'd be like, "Give me the wires back! No, give me the wires back!" So I always love those moments.
Yeah.
Interpersonal.
Okay, so how about your big bad? How do you make them unique? I mean, we could probably do a whole
Yeah.
God,
thing
we
on
do a
this.
whole thing on that. I mean,
but
Yeah.
well, you could. I mean, you
what
could.
are traits you could give them? Like I'm talking on a generic sense. How do you make them? I mean, there's the obvious: give them a terrible name,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
like Dr. Anus.
Well, and I think you gotta, to an extent, try to give logic to their point of view, I guess.
Yes.
But I did just recently see a Twitter thread about this, about making like villains you could be sympathetic with, and kind of, they're interesting because you can see the way they're thinking, and they're complex that way. But then the other school of thought was like, when I play a game, I don't want to
Deal with nuance?
I don't want to
spend
feel things.
or like I spend so much time in the real world, sort
Yeah,
of like
it's an escape.
sympathizing with people who are hurting me actively.
Yeah.
So when I play a game, I just want them to be bad, and I don't want to feel bad for them, and all that stuff. So
That's a group dependence.
Yeah.
group.
it is, and it.
But I was speaking more because that's where we can get in depth and have a whole discussion about making good villains. I'm
Mhm.
talking about more quirks on a top tier level of just
Gotcha.
things that help you remember,
Who's
things that
who.
could help them make your villain more memorable.
Give them a specific outfit. I think that
Oh,
that's always really interesting. Say like a big flowy cloak, and then when characters are maybe trying to perceive something, you could be like, "Oh, you see like a black piece of fabric floating in the corner, and
Yep.
it's like as it's by a hallway that's walking away," so that they know who they're looking for and how to find them. Because a lot of the time when you're doing perception checks or even lore checks in the beginning about a bad guy, what you get is what they look like, and what they want, what they're doing. So giving them a specific look or a scar or a like tattoo, it's a nice way to allow character players to later find that person. Does that make sense? Also,
Sorry, I got distracted because I just came up with a new villain.
Okay.
And that at some point, when the next time I run a superheroes game, I'm going to have a villain called Dr. Anus.
Okay.
And it's going to be like he just spreads like poison gas. And it's going to be this
Oh,
guy whose
no.
last name was Dranus. And he got tired of everybody calling him Dr. Anus and decided to become a supervillain.
Okay. There you go.
so if his real name is Dranus, can he be Dr. Dranus?
Dr. Dranus. He's a proctologist.
And a plumber.
and a plumber. Yep. Yep. All right. So yeah, cool clothing, cool outfit.
I love a good outfit.
They could travel with an entourage that's just really annoying. So like if it's a
talking parrot.
yeah, a talking parrot. Or if the villain is some sort of lord or whatever, you can have the herald just have this really
Okay,
annoying
there we go.
voice like,
I love
you
a
will
herald.
address him as Lord Blackcross and
Wait,
nothing
hang on.
else.
Black cloak talking. You're just describing Jafar.
I did.
That's what's going on here.
Yeah.
Jafar's
Oh my
great.
God. I just had a great idea, though. There needs to be, like, the next time you have it that's a lord, he needs to have, like, a jester that just goes around mocking you the entire battle. Like, this would require some work. You'd have to do, like, some rhyming couplets. of like just have a bunch of different rhyming couplets and
Yep.
then just like occasionally break them out and have him like dance around to the point where you're more mad at the jester than you are the actual
Yeah.
bad guy.
Right.
Well, and I think that's fun when you have things like couplets and rhyming things that the group can help with because it's memorable because they get to
Yep.
rhyme with you.
Yep.
Right.
And you're definitely going to make some bad rhymes.
Yep.
Slant rhymes.
At one point, like if we threw that into one of our games, it would either be like me or Mike. You're like, no, I'm just gonna turn around and kill that guy right now. I know that guy's like about to cast fireball and kill the entire room. This guy's going out first.
I
And
hate
maybe that's the
couplets.
point.
Yeah, it turns
That-
out the jester is like a huge jacked, like,
He takes off the
Monk.
fat suit and he's actually like,
He-
yeah.
He's the tank.
There, yep.
Yep.
oh, I love it.
Cast taunt.
Or make the jester your bad guy.
There you go.
He just spends the entire time taunting you and saying like rhyming couplets as you know, it's basically like having the Joker as your bad.
The worst.
The one you're trying to kill turns out to be the Mandarin from Iron Man 3.
Right.
Just some hired actor. No, they just pay me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Do not go in the bathroom.
any other type stereotypes or stuff before we head to I got a couple of hot seat questions.
I think we got them all.
Cool. Problem solved.
Okay, cool.
Before I do that, we want to talk about we got our Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/boards and swords. And we just want people, I've got stuff in there for higher rewards, but that's whatever. $1 a month. $1 a month is what we really just want people. We just want people to do $1 a month.
And what do
that-
we do for $1 a month, Chris?
For $1 a month, you get a shout out on the show and you get access to our Slack and you get access to special Patreon only content. Because once we hit $20, we're going to unlock special bonus podcasts that will only go to those patrons.
Borbs and Swarbs.
Borbs and Swords.
Come hang out with us at Borbs and Swarbs.
Like, if you were here on the stream and heard us talking about old cartoons, maybe there'll just be a podcast where we're just talking about old cartoons.
How to play RPGs as old cartoons.
Well, I was, or just in general, like a movie breakdown. Like, we could sit down and talk about the Adventures Endgame.
Oh, God.
We
no.
we use Genesis and we play out like old episodes of old cartoons
Yep.
in Genesis.
Can you imagine playing as Cat Dog? Like the
Oh,
Siamese
God.
twin?
It would
Oh.
require. I would make 2 people play that character.
Yeah, exactly.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
But you're connected in the middle.
Oh my
It's
God,
like
this
you
has to
gotta
happen now.
cooperate.
Yep.
Except for I feel like it needs to be a more light system. Like this would need to be more
Oh, it does.
like a Powered by the Apocalypse
Yeah,
game.
100%.
Yeah.
Because how do you stat out Cat Dog? I'm not rewatching the whole
they
show.
Can, they
Yeah.
can stretch to infinite.
Infinite
Right?
length.
That was
Really.
like. But then they would also have like tug of wars with the body. So it was
Yep.
like pick one.
Yep. It has varying rigidity. That body.
It depends on the
Uh,
dice you roll.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, if any of this sounds interesting, there's also other rewards. I think at the $5 a month level, you get we'll make custom dice, and also I'll do special dad jokes custom for you and read them on the show about your favorite game.
Wow,
I got
that's
some
a-
I need to work on.
That's a bargain.
Yeah,
That is a
$5?
bargain. Dad
and
jokes, man.
at $10, where I will actually run an RPG for you.
What?
Wow.
Wow.
You will be in a special Patreon only.
That's legit.
RPG.
Like,
Gee.
other Patreon channels would make you pay at least twice that amount.
Well,
that.
my time is worth a lot less than theirs.
Also, Chris loves being in charge of the game. So
Also, I'm
Chris does.
doing that on the hopes, or I'm doing that with the expectation that we're not going to get 100 people signing up at the $10
Oh my
a month
Lord, what if
level.
that
I was
happened?
just
That'd be
saying
great.
what a bargain that price was. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
come out to Borbs and Swords.
Borbs and Swords.
And play some games with us.
Play
Get
some
some
games.
dice. Get some dad jokes.
So yeah, check that out. boardsandswords.com. There's a link there. There is a link there, but patreon.com/boardsandswords. And with that, it's time for the hot seat.
Hot seat.
I don't
That's
remember
gonna
what,
that's gonna get saved.
Wait, what was the this is the hot seat?
This is the hot seat. Or like the voice.
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
worst
okay.
intro ever. This
I
is
don't
the
remember-
voice.
It's gonna be a different musical sting every week. I don't remember what I said the first time.
So funny story. I was just on the last episode.
Yeah.
I found out a better way of bleeping, and in with editing, and there was a thing where Chris bleeped himself where he goes, "Mother bleep." I
Yeah.
cut out him saying bleep and then actually bleeped him. So I have a Chris bleep if I ever want to use it for
Yep.
something else. But instead, I made it sound like he actually said it.
That's pretty good.
Bleep.
So, I have a couple of questions here. Not a whole lot because it was really hard to find stuff. So that's just a reminder that if people have suggestions for questions, Twitter at Chris the Prof to me, or feedback at dirtbagsofholding.com is a good way of sending us stuff. Who runs the Twitter account?
Not me.
Not me.
I thought one of you two does
I don't
it.
Nope.
tweet.
I used to. Stopped.
See, that was the problem there.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't. I have. Do you want to know what my last tweet was?
No, I don't.
Probably 2010,
Oh.
11.
I was like, hey, one of y'all should do the Twitter accounts, and that fell apart.
It wouldn't work
Yep.
well for me. I know nothing about the news of RPGs. Hey guys, stuff's coming out. Want to tell me about it?
Yep.
Someone might
All
tell
right.
me about it.
So this week we have more of a.
Yeah.
There we go.
So start off with Philip. What's your favorite movie?
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh,
Ooh.
favorite movie.
Favorite movie.
Oh, you can't do this.
What's
to
that
us.
one with the party where people come to the
Oh,
party?
The Invitation.
The Invitation. It's weird and
It's a
it's
pretty good movie.
pretty good.
Pretty good.
It gets spoopy at the end.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Wow, favorite movie.
They have to go with Batman Begins.
Ooh.
You would.
Of course.
Gosh.
Ooh. Also,
Your Wi-Fi's called the Batcave, okay?
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's called Gotham City. All right, get
Wasn't
it
called the
right.
Batcave at one point.
No, one of the routers was called the
The
Batcave.
routers is called the Batcave. That's right.
I'm not really a person who picks out like.
very
Oh,
favorite-
come on,
favorite
just whatever
entertainment.
your
You
current
loved the first John Wick a lot.
I did. I'll say
Um,
John Wick 1.
a favorite.
for
What's
now.
one of your favorite
Yeah, John
movies?
Wick one.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, because the world building combined with excellent action sequences.
Oh, Interstellar is your favorite movie, probably. After we watched it, you came into the car
I
and
was
went,
like, that might be my favorite movie. But
Yeah.
that's also because of the, any movie that you've just seen.
"That's true."
That's like, it was an excellent movie. I loved Interstellar.
I wouldn't
I'd-
say any
actually-
movie you've seen.
Actually,
'cause
never
I saw,
seen it.
I saw Fury with
Oh.
Brad Pitt and Shia LaBeouf. And I was
Oh
like,
God,
that was a good movie. I did not enjoy watching
No.
it, though.
Oh, yeah.
we watched it on base for free with all the military people, and it was uncomfortable to watch. Yeah.
I watched Batman v Superman in the movie theater, and I was like, I enjoyed that, but that was a terrible movie.
That's how I feel about no, not Interview with the Vampire. What's the other Anne Rice one? The Vampire Lestat.
Queen of
Queen
the
of the Damned. I love Queen of the Damned, but it's
Yeah.
trash.
Yeah.
It's all my favorite corn songs.
It was
It's
like
trash.
it was because like they had to pull in her brother to revoice some of her lines because
Yeah.
she died during post, and
It
it
was
was
sad.
like that sucked.
I will
That's
say,
not why it's trash.
That's not why the movie's trash, but there was like, oh, it's
Everyone's
like,
attractive.
yeah.
So it's a
So-
CW episode.
It is. It's a CW episode for an entire movie.
I'll do like the last movie we watched. Maybe let's do that. I watched The Perfection on Netflix. I watched it while you were away because it was a scary movie. You
What's
don't like
that?
scary
Yeah,
movies.
good. Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know
well-
the last. I know the last movie I watched in theaters, but I don't know the last movie I watched. Period, because I know I've watched some stuff since then.
I
I
haven't.
just don't know
Anyway.
what.
I watched
so-
John Wick 3, and there wasn't enough world building.
The
I need
per-
to know more
The
about
world
the
was already
coins.
built.
I need to know more about these coins.
Yeah, we got to know more about the coins. Why are they worth different things? Well, I guess they say because it's more about relationships than actual monetary value. Anyway, The Perfection, more of a thriller, really.
Gonna start a
and
review.
The only reason I watched it is because it had the girl from Dear White People in it.
Oh, she has a boy named Devin. No, what's her name?
I don't know.
I love her. She real cool.
Anyway, it's about this like private cello school or whatever, and some like traumas that happen there. It's not exactly fun to watch. I scrubbed through
I
most
don't
of it.
think they actually want us to a full review of the movie, babe.
I'm just saying I wanted
The
to
hot
share
seat's
this.
getting kind of cold.
Yeah.
I haven't. Okay. All right.
Sorry, her name's Logan Browning, though.
Okay. Next question.
Okay. What's the best call sign for an NPC?
So the school with the cello students.
That's a really
Call-
long call sign. I
okay.
don't think you can fit that on a
call
name
sign
tape.
for an NPC.
Yeah.
Call sign.
Yeah, like nickname.
Oh.
The
there's-
butcher, the
there's
receptionist,
The receptionist.
the oligarch.
I just like a villain. A villain called the receptionist. They call me the receptionist.
I feel like you got to go with like weird old titles, like the Ombudsman. The oh man, the titular.
The county clerk.
Yeah.
The
surf.
The surf.
I think rhymes have to be.
Oh.
Rickety tickety. There you go. That rhymes.
Suddenly I have the butler of cutlery.
The butler of cutlery. The cutlery butler. E.
Okay, moving on. What do you watch now that Game of Thrones is over? Like, what's in your what TV wise? What are you watching?
Good Omens. We're watching
Yes,
right
Good
now.
Omens.
That's right.
Yes,
So
it's
I'm-
on Amazon Prime now.
I'm not. I see all these Twitter posts about people who are like, I don't watch Game of Thrones. I'm like,
Cool. Good for you.
yeah. Like, first of all, I didn't watch Game of Thrones just
Right.
because I didn't have access
Right.
to
Have
someone's
HBO.
HBO password.
HBO Go.
Yeah, like I'm gonna watch it,
It's more like HBO Now.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna watch Game of Thrones, and at least now that it's over, I can like, all right, let me just take a weekend,
Yeah.
Yep.
slam through it all.
Yeah.
That
That's one of
was-
those things people like to not like things that other people
I
like.
saw
Yeah,
I
like
saw a
that-
funny
and that is
joke that
aggravating.
said, if you're vegan into CrossFit and don't watch Game of Thrones, what do you tell people about first? But in
Oh,
the question was really I
What
made it
should
a
people
joke
watch?
because of Game of Thrones. But what do you watch? What TV are you watching right now? I mentioned I'm into the newsroom.
Today, the next season of Black Mirror came on, so we will be
that's true.
binging that. There's an episode with Miley Cyrus.
There
Yes.
is.
Okay.
I saw
Do you
like
know
an
why-
ad for it.
Do you know why it's called Black Mirror?
Yeah, because of screens.
Yeah.
That when it goes black, you're like, oh, I'm just.
You can
looking
see
at
yourself
my
in their
ugly
yeah.
face.
I'm currently rewatching The West Wing for like the 842nd time, just because.
Phil
may-
can recite.
I may
recite
actually
an
have to
episode.
start watching The West Wing because you were saying that's an Aaron Sorkin thing.
It is.
Yes.
And I've fallen in love with Aaron Sorkin.
It's
so.
a good show. Like,
Have you watched the news? Well, you can't
I
because it's
can't.
HBO. Well, what if one of us happen to have
an HBO Go
You
password?
should check out.
Didn't HBO say they don't mind if people share passwords?
They
I
did.
think they were one of the few ones that were like.
I
do
feel
it.
like it's more of a don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah. The best policy. Just kidding. That's a joke. It's a bad policy.
They're like, look, guys, we're making bank, so just go ahead.
As long as you're not pirating it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I look at some of those companies who are like, don't give out your password. So, but like on Netflix,
You wouldn't steal a car.
you can.
Or you wouldn't download a car.
Yeah, right. I would.
I don't know. If I could download a car, I'm pretty sure
Hell
I
yeah,
would.
I'm fucking.
That day is fast approaching. I think.
I know.
It's not a you wouldn't. It's you couldn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
There's-
you can't download a car, right?
but like on Netflix, you can have up to 4 separate profiles,
Yeah,
and it's
right.
like,
A lot of streaming services do that now, where they'll like gate how many people
Yeah.
can be on at once.
I think it's like
Yeah.
on your standard Netflix plan, you get 2 devices at a time
Yeah.
or 2
2
screens at a time.
Yep.
They also gate like by zip code now. If you don't have like if you have like Xfinity and you try to log into your Comcast
Right.
account, then they'll
Also,
be like, you're in the wrong zip code.
You can't have like 3 people on different sides of the country all
Yeah.
using the same area code.
They get a
or
little smarter
same
until you just use a.
A
VPN.
VPN. Yeah.
What you watching? West Wing. You already
West
said.
Wing. Yeah.
That's it. Just more West Wing.
Well, West Wing. What I watch. I've been watching some of the Netflix only animes that are like 10, 12 episodes long. Just
Yeah.
slam right through.
Did
'em
you
real
ever watch
quick.
that? Was it Love, Sex, and Robots or whatever?
Oh
I
my God.
haven't.
Yeah, we watched it. Yeah.
It's
Well, I
good.
know you had.
Sounds
I
real
was
good.
looking to you
Some
to
are
make
good,
sure I
yeah.
got. It was. I was looking
I
to make
don't
sure I got the
remember
name
what it's
right.
called.
Something
I
like
keep
that.
calling it like copulation robots
Population
fighting.
fighting robots. Yeah.
Copulation coupling cyborgs.
Yep. Or like Smoochie's
pretty
War.
Smoochie's War.
Smoochie's War microwave.
I sent Chris a message a
Sounds
while
great.
ago.
That needs
That
to be
sounds
a
like an anime.
That needs to
Yeah.
be a the next game. That needs to be like, oh man, back in Smoochie's War.
Oh man, do you remember the war?
Do you
of the
remember?
Smoochies?
Do you remember Smoochie's War?
I sent Chris a
You
message
don't even
ago.
know!
You don't even know, man.
It's actually just a war that Scaramucci started.
There was
Oh God.
one of
Yeah.
my old phones. It was the company Niantic. They're the ones who are behind Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Before that, they had a game called Ingress.
Mhm.
Okay.
And
It's all about getting in stuff.
no, it was there was like some weird ass backstory, and there were like it used the location data for like
Right.
local landmarks and stuff. And that
It
was how
started out
you-
as a way to get metadata about.
Yeah.
It was a
Jeep-
preamble for Pokemon Go.
It was
more than likely.
but it started off as like a way of, hey, help us identify cool spots in your area.
Gotcha.
So, but it was disguised as a game.
Thanks for doing that, Phil.
Yeah. So I didn't play. I tried to play the game, and I was like, this is gonna involve like driving around the county, and I don't
Yeah,
feel
I
like
did
doing
that.
that. Like,
I
that's-
downloaded it and it was just like, this looks not fun.
Yeah.
Who
So-
made this on a potato?
Well, currently there is an anime on Netflix.
Yeah.
Called Ingress, and it's like about like the two factions in the war and all this kind
Huh.
of
The
stuff. And I'm just
backstory that
like,
nobody cared about.
Yeah, they made a cartoon
Gotcha.
out of it.
Is it good?
I don't know. That's
You just know it
yeah.
exists.
Yeah, he sent me a text, was like, do you know there's an Ingress cartoon?
Yeah.
Or an Ingress anime? I was like, cool, don't care.
Yeah, it was like it's in my list along with everything else on
Yeah.
Netflix. Like,
That reminds me.
Okay.
You know what got announced this week?
uh,
They're making a Magic the Gathering animated show.
noise.
You know who's doing it? Who's directing it? The
Feige?
Russo brothers.
Oh,
The Russo brothers are doing a Magic the Gathering show for Netflix.
it could suck, and I'd still watch it.
Exactly. It won't suck, and I'll still watch
It'll
it.
look beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why, I saw this and I saw the message. I was like, "That is amazing! How in the world did this happen?" And they're like, "I know, Magic the Gathering's got all this lore. It makes sense." Like, no, I figured that was going to happen. And I'm like, "How did you get the Russo brothers involved?" Like, that's the part I can't believe.
Yeah. Maybe they play Magic.
Maybe.
When
Yeah, I know, right?
those guys have no time in their lives.
They're
Like,
they're just in the editing bay. I tap through. I play Fireball.
that's how they do it. It's all like just like they have an agreed upon deck, and they just do like text messages back and forth. I play a land, and I tap my tank, and
Yep.
The way you said that reminded me of a South Park episode where they play Magic. It involved a C word.
yes, that's right.
Uh-oh.
That's
I've
not. It's not a bad C word. It's just not one I just should be saying a
You
lot.
can use a C word in a nice way or a mean way.
It was cock.
Oh. You could say that in a nice way. or a
could,
mean
but-
way.
I know.
And they went
Yeah.
to they went to the city walk.
Right. Okay.
Anyways, all right. Last question. How do you bow out of a group while they play a different game?
So like they started playing a new game.
So
and you're
they
like,
have
"Bye."
they want to. Everybody wants to play this game, but you don't care so much, and you don't want to like permanently leave,
Right.
but you just don't want to play this game.
You say, "Hey, bro, I don't really want to play this game a whole bunch. It's not up my alley, but I don't want to not see you guys for 6 months. Could I play like an NPC every once in a while so I can hang out with you? Cool, thanks, bye."
So that's the long term answer. I was thinking like if it's a short term game night. Hey guys, I'm going to get food.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, no, this is like more of a long term.
Okay.
Well,
More
it
of a
works
long-term
both
fun.
ways. It's
Does work.
like if they're gonna play a quick board game that you don't want to play, be like,
Exactly.
"Oh, I'm gonna go for pizza." You know, who wants pizza?
Or you say like, "Can we do 2 game nights a week? Because we totally have time." And then I'll
Or
work-
just alternate,
Yeah.
like we used to do,
Yeah.
where it was like not everybody was into Star Wars, and it's like, okay, we're gonna do D&D this night and Star Wars
Next week.
next week, because
Yep.
that's like some of us like I can't commit to coming every week, but I can commit to every other week.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I come to the D&D nights. I don't really feel like playing Star Wars, so they'll play their Star Wars games.
It also gives your GMs 2 weeks to prepare
That
versus
too.
1
Yeah.
week, which is nice. Because life is fast.
Yeah.
Or you just be honest, be like, I'm not feeling this game.
Yeah,
I'm-
definitely be honest.
Just be a mature person about it. Oh, excuse
Or
me.
you cry in front of everyone and tell them that you,
You
don't
smell-
think
everybody
they
smell
like you.
that? All right, so I think we've done a lot to we've solved the world's problems
Yeah, we
here.
crushed
We
it.
have.
We crushed it.
So, anybody got anything to say?
Nothing appropriate.
What do you have to say for yourself?
I hope
So,
all of you
I
listening
learned it
have
from
a good
watching
day.
you.
So what was this? What was this cello thing?
Hold on,
Oh.
hold on. Before you, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna read our closing bit, and then
Uh-huh.
afterwards I'm gonna ask everybody what did we learn this week,
Okay.
Got it.
and then you can get into whatever crazy stuff you're watching.
I got to think of what I learned.
Well, I figured you were gonna go into talking about the cello.
Oh, okay.
So, any meantime, we love hearing from you. If you have an RPG question or topic that you'd like to hear us discuss, or sample things for us to talk about in the hot seat, or even a game that you want to hear us play, email us feedback@dirtbagsofholding.com. You can find us on Twitter at Dirtbags Podcast, but apparently no one will respond to you. You can follow me at Chris the Prof. I will respond to you. Or follow us on Facebook, which I control, not them. Facebook.com/Boards and Swords Pod. Oh,
Yep.
Philip's an admin
Am I an admin?
on the Facebook page.
Oh, okay.
None of us post on any of the social
I mean,
media.
I don't know how to social media.
That was more just I gave because you shit. Anyways,
I show up every once in a while.
yeah. The Dirtbags of Holding is a Birds and Swords production. I can't talk now.
What? A
'cause-
bird- a
birds
bird-
and
Yes!
birds and swords.
We've got the next
Orbs and
podcast of
swords.
Birds and Swords.
Orbs and swords.
and swords.
Birds with swords.
Is a Boards and Swords production. Thank you, wonderful
Listeners.
editing thing that I can go in and change this later. If you like this show, check out the main Boards and Swords podcast where we have fun talking about board games. We're also a part of Punchboard Media. Go check out the other great gaming podcasts by going to punchboardmedia.com. Thank you for listening. And until next time, Philip, what did you learn this week?
I learned that I actually like all these stereotypes.
Corey?
I learned that next time Chris GMs, I have to have poison resistance because his character is going to fart a lot at me.
I learned that it's hard to play a cello when you're missing your right hand.
Oh my God. What is this show? I'm glad I wasn't watching it. So glad I wasn't watching
I learned that suddenly I'm kind of interested in this cello show only because
No.
of missing right hand. No, I'm not really.
You can just read the plot. It's traumatic. I wouldn't recommend it to most people.
I learned I need to do a superheroes game soon.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
I'll see you next time on Dirtbags of Holding. That's why Cindy's still watching, apparently, for some reason. This is why that we have her and Colin. They do the socials.
Oh, okay.
That's why I
Well-
put them in charge of the Instagram.
That's right.
They are good with the pictures.
And they hate the boomerangs. Colin hates the boomerangs.
What?
He said he doesn't like boomerangs.
Oh, is that the, like,
Yeah.
pictures
yeah.
that go...
It's the
Yeah, I don't like those.
I love boomerangs.
I don't like some of them. There are some that are done well.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of like falling shots, like when someone does, like, pieces, and it's, like, back and forth.
Yeah.
one of the cosplayers I follow. Whenever she does streams, one of the people in her chat, they do like 30-second boomerangs, but
that's
it's like
excessive.
it's like 15 seconds and then in reverse. And I'm just like, no, man, that's not a boomerang. Just
No.
like quick. It's a quick.
Why would you want 15?
It's more of a yo-yo,
Yeah.
actually.
Or like, you know, when like someone's got a cat jumping in their face and then like right before it gets it backs up.
Yeah.
And then
You're like, what happened at the end?
I saw this I tagged it on Facebook. There was this thing where it's like I totally misjudged what or it's like the caption is I thought he wanted my McDonald's for the wrong reason. And it just like shows him looking down at the cat and the cat like jumps up in his face like right where he's like got his food, but then crawls into the McDonald's
Into the
bag.
Yeah,
And then just turns around and just sits there.
I'm in a bag.
Nice.
It's a cat in a bag.
And I was like, oh, that's totally Winchester, except for he would grab like a chicken nugget on the way.
Well, I mean, you know, since I'm here,
I mean, this is
I used to do that at Wendy's because I worked in drive-thru.
you had cats that would steal
That
chicken
one too.
nuggets.
But I worked in
You would
drive-thru,
steal chicken
so
nuggets.
I would like I'm walking by and it's like, all right, get some French fries, get a chicken nugget.
Yeah, I would. Food's good.
Hold on. I feel like before you guys leave and before we shut this off, I have to play the intro to the SWAT Cats.
SWAT cats.
Is he gonna come over our headphones?
Maybe.
Oh wait, these look familiar. Oh, it looks very familiar.
On boomerang.
Oh, yep, all cats.
Are the dinosaurs fighting?
They're not helicopter based. Oh, wizard cat. Yep, there's the helicopters.
Goo Monsters was an archetype for a while. I am a cat, and
Yep.
I'm on a ship, and I'm flying in the air, and I look
Oh,
so
lots
cool.
of pollution.
Chemtrails.
Missiles. Shooting T-Rex. Mm-hmm.
Ghoul
fighter
monster,
jet. Oh, he's
shoot him in the mouth.
wearing a proper oxygen mask. Yep. Nope. Now he's taking it off.
He doesn't need a pressurized cabin.
He's a cat.
Swat cat!
Swat
Yeah, the thing was, is they found all that junk in the
In the trunk?
no, yes.
Well, you know that too.
That was the junkyard had all the materials to do that.
Noise.
Like, hey, we could build our own jet and make our own rocket fuel.
That sounds complicated. They rolled a nat 20.
Yeah. All right. I
Bye.
think it's time to go.
Bye.